the activity in the truth community has diminished somewhat, not as much as what they used to be. And look, that's not through the effort or lack of effort from truthers. It's more structural. Yeah, all the laws in preparation for the coming bank bailing, including the bank bailing law, they're in place. General duties police have machine guns and are legally protected when they shoot bank bailing protesters dead to scatter the rioting crowds around those bollards. And they also have surveillance to find and lock up, resistance organisers indefinitely as terrorists. They're just going to be pulling them off, and they're going to disappear. And anyone who still goes out in the streets, it's going to shoot you dead. They're just going to take your money. So look, there's no need for these, for the organisers to run any more circus shows. Like there's no new Mintos or Bourke Streets or even overseas ones. Richie G's video of a truck. Rampaging through the streets of Nice. Yeah, so they're all pretty much dried up. You've still got your real and ongoings where they'll just run a report. That one at the Melbourne markets I thought was quite funny, where the the English terrorist hunters, whoever they were, vigilantes, managed to find them and warn of them. Anyway, that was just that was like hilarious. That's what they're down to now. So they're sort of finished up. The one that was my favourite, it was a real and ongoing, but they still went to the effort of, staging a location and making it like something actually happened. That was the 5-foot-high Bangladeshi female terrorist. But for pure comedy, that was gold. From first time where they got the chair out the front, showing the blood, shocking everyone. And then from there, it's just a big narration of total bullshit that could never fucking happened. She was here for 2 days or something. And, oh, God, it was just hilarious. And then they showed the current affair story where the guy was like trying to demonstrate how he was stabbed, but he's just in an empty room. He's not showing any beds where he was sleeping. Or there's such lack of detail. Because it was done, it didn't happen, And then also the neighbour, who was reckon he had a conversation with her. Oh, what? Your parents sent you here? She goes, no, I'm here for this. Oh, that's convenient. And it really highlighted that story, and I guess the Minto and those ones as well. They highlight how asleep Australians are. I won't say stupid. Look, they're from very intelligent people who just aren't directed towards or shown any evidence. So they choose to ignore it because they just don't want to know about it. But that doesn't mean they're stupid though. But yeah, it just shows how many people are unaware of what's happening and how hard it is to get the message across. So as such, I sort of called an end to my channel a little while ago, but I still, that was mainly through a lack of time, but then, got some time freed up. Not that I wanted it, but I did. Certain things didn't go my way. But anyway, those things happen just to everyone, so that's fine. It picked up again now, but look, rather than sort of me being in control of calling time, I think my views are diminishing and not getting the same repeat subscribers. I've got 500 and something subscribers and I'm down to about 40 or 50 views. And also, just on that, it's a bit natural for that to happen anyway. I think once you've done your quite a few videos, I'm up to about 150, you will be starting to sound repetitive, and that's not a criticism of me. It's just, I can only do it how I do it. It's not a criticism of people who, don't come to my channel anymore, because, I do it sometimes, or even with really established people like Ollie Demigard or even Stefan Molyneux. I don't really watch too much of his stuff anymore. I used to watch it all the time because I kind of know what his take is going to be in the first couple of minutes of a video, and sometimes I'll just look at the topic and I go, oh yeah, I already know what he's going to say, so I don't worry about listening. So that would also happen with my channel as well. And also, concepts only hold people's attention for so long. Sitcoms, TV shows, they only last, 5 years, or they have a set sort of time depending on the premise. You can only do so many variations and so many different scenes based on the premise of a sitcom, and you run out and the show finishes. The same sort of thing with YouTube, any kind of entertainment, documentary or any kind of video production, it's going to run out of steam eventually. So I'm sort of going to call time on my channel based on outside forces rather than me. Acknowledging outside forces. What I want to do though, I just want to cover each of the main scenarios, certainly here in Australia. So I've done Minto, and I've still got some Minto videos up. I'm not going to put any more up of that. That's pretty much over. The last special hearing, there's been no more since, and I could see myself getting into a bit of trouble if I keep pursuing that one, so I won't be pursuing that. I covered the Brighton siege just in my last video briefly. Look, pretty much, I think he was lured there by the Colombian prostitute, who I think was an undercover cop, and he's come out with his pants down. They just set him up to kill him. He was involved in some previous terror, some Holsworthy, and he might have been going to compromise them, and he went against the family, whatever, and they might have wanted him dead for that reason. These guys have got to be careful. Like that Alice Arthur got killed, and Greenhalgh and all those guys, they've got to not they've got to stay 100% in line if they think there's any chance these guys, because they can legally affect it, and that's where people die. So I think they killed Jakub for that reason. They set him up, and they used it also for the bail-in laws. They set him up for that. I mean, he had an ankle bracelet on. They knew where he was 100% of the time. There's no way he got that gun. They said he got it in a car park or through a middle person who might have, but the middle person was an undercover cop. But yeah, he didn't even have the gun. There's no way cops would have gone there with a chance they were going to be shot. They just set him up. He's come out with his pants down. I think that guy, the receptionist, they probably tried to not want him dead, but they probably shot him dead because he saw the story. Their story was he came out blasting with a shotty, and the receptionist may have just seen the assassination. So they've killed him. So I've done that one, a Minto, and look, I'm just going to finish off with some Bourke Street ones. That's my next uploads. I'm just going to revisit them. I've got a bit of a take on that I think people might find interesting. Maybe you won't, but I'm going to revisit it. I've taken a long, hard look at it, and I think pretty much backwards engineering it, looking at just the evidence there and coming up with the most likely scenario. That's what I'm going to put forward, because obviously no one's going to crack it. No one's going to make any admissions. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars out of the Victorian taxpayer. All the people that were involved with that are very, very wealthy now. So so I'm just going to do some probably about 3 or 4 final videos. So the next one that comes up is going to be my first of my Bourke Street. I'm going to do it in about 3 parts. So the first is what I think actually happened up at the Donut Corner, and then the second will be still at Donut Corner, all the people running around, and then my third will be the basically what happened up Bourke Street, because it's sort of broken up into those parts. So that's what I'll be doing, and I'll hopefully get them up this week. And then after that, I can't see there's nothing to work on. There's no new events. I sort of cover these real and ongoing ones, but they're not, but people like to be entertained, and you need the chair with the blood on it and stuff to keep people interested and make them, because otherwise, like, your time's, precious, and you want to be stimulated, and the new stuff just isn't stimulating. So I probably won't. There's nothing to work on, so I think my channel will die a natural death. So all right then. So that's it for this video. Next one is going to be the first of my Bourke Street series, Bourke Street Revisited, and then that'll be it.